Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Texans Fan Battle Podcast. I'm here with my boy Crenshaw. Say what's up to the folks.
What's the deal? I'm back.
And today we are joined by two special guests. The first one, he was here last week. He loved it so much he had to come again. Mr. Amobi Okoye.
What's going on? What's going on, man? Yeah, I'm glad to be back on.
And since he came on, I had to bring an old friend of his. They met in 2010 after the Giants wolfed our tail in. I got Mr. Dylan Cieslik. So what's up?
What's going on, guys? Happy to be here.
All right. So jumping straight into it, NFL news. The receiver, Josh Gordon, got reinstated by the league. And after he got reinstated, he got picked up by the Chiefs. What does everybody think? We'll start with you, Amobi. Playing the league. How's that a big impact to him, and what does he bring to the Chiefs?
Hey, just you should count his blessings. He's gotten so many opportunities, and hopefully, makes use of it this time, and actually stays on. I wish him the best. He definitely had some demons he had to deal with, and I hope he's done that, and he's willing to come back and now take advantage of being able to do what you love, because playing football is being able to play it is it's a privilege.
Right.
It's a privilege that you shouldn't take it. What's the word I'm looking for? You shouldn't
Take for granted.
take for granted. Exactly.
Yeah. So as a former player, do you agree that they should lighten the penalties for recreational marijuana? Because it's starting to get legalized in many states.
Yeah, I for sure think they should do so. I mean, just with the way the world is trending, you might as well just join.
Yeah, I think they should take a page out of the NBA's playbook when it comes to this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I mean, obviously, there's research that shows that when it comes to mental health, I guess it helps out a lot with people who struggle with mental health. So maybe it's just like, and I guess you consider it as medicine. Is this time is not actually chemical.
Right. Chris, so what do you think about it? Well, the pickup, everything. What do you think?
Well, I think it's a good pickup. I thought we was going to sign him since he got Houston ties and New England ties. But I hope he's on the right track because he has tremendous talent, but he just can't stay on the field, not injury-wise, just off the field-wise. And, you with Patrick Mahomes, so he's going to make you look like a star regardless. So I think it was a good pickup. I can't wait to see him on Sunday.
Oh yeah.
I just with a guy like that, he has to be in the right locker room, around guys that because at the end of the day, it's something that obviously like he's admitted that he doesn't have control over, and he has an issue with it. And so if it's around people who can because times are going to come where to backslide and to go back to what got you where you are, as far as the negative things. So as long as it's in the locker room with guys that I think that can have his back in the sense and understand that he needs help.
Oh yeah. And Reed has put up with a lot of. I'm not saying put up, but he's dealt with a lot of personalities. A Tyreek Hill, a Frank Clark, Marcus Peters,
Kareem Hunt.
right. So right. So hopefully Andy Reid helps him out.
He's the perfect coach for that can handle and deal with something like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Dylan, what do you think, Bob?
I think they're just trying to find. I think this early season, it's definitely shown how much Sammy Watkins meant to that offense in an underrated form. I think they're trying to find someone to kind of fill that void a little bit. Obviously, a couple seasons, he's come and he's gone and all that. He's not going to be the Josh Gordon that, we knew and loved in Cleveland and all that, star player. But he's definitely, that talent just doesn't completely go away. He definitely got talent. Hopefully he stays on the field. I'm not a huge fan of Kansas City, so hopefully he don't do well. But I wish him the best. I'm glad he's back. I hope he takes advantage of this chance.
And he's only what 31, I believe. I mean, he's not young, but he's not technically old.
Yeah, exactly.
So he still has.
Just to think about it, the Patriots at one point in time had him, AB. It's like 2 other top receivers they had in the beginning of 2019 season.
Yeah,
that was like crazy. I remember that.
Yeah. The potential, man, it was there. Just nobody could stay on the field.
Yeah.
So, moving on, Richard Sherman to the Buccaneers. Everybody's surprised with that move.
I'm not. I feel like he was going to sign with a contender no matter what. I think it's a good move. Veteran leadership, and their defense is worse than what it was last year, so they need all the help they can get. So I think it's a great move for them.
Yeah, they've been injury plagued for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
They went from returning all 22 starters to, I think they lost like 3 or 4 compared to other than the Ravens. They've had a lot of injuries as far as when you think about every team was and how injuries impacted them so far going into week 4. Yeah, they if he didn't sign there, heck, I think going back to San Fran would have been even a good, because they had some. Then Josh Norman go down last weekend.
He went out with the lungs.
Yeah, so
and Jason Verrett's out for the season again over there too, so they're hurting. That's another team that gets hit by injuries.
Yeah, no, like Amobi said, Tampa's definitely getting hit by the injuries, especially at corner. And even when their guys have been in, they haven't been. It's not the same as last season. I think he's going to be good, veteran wise, stuff like that. We'll see how he is on the field. I mean, he's getting up there, but as long as he can help out the young guys, it's definitely a good signing. Like, it's 100% a good signing. I think it's funny because you go back and you could tell it's like just purely a business move, because you go back and what's the famous picture of Sherman in Brady's face, right? Screaming at him.
Mad, bro.
You mad, bro.
Hey. At the end of the day, man, as long as that bottom line is affected in a positive way and you can contribute.
Well, I mean,
that's all that matters.
I mean, nobody thought he would go to the 49ers without all that beef with him and Michael Crabtree, at the NFC Championship game. Nobody thought that would happen either. So, I mean, things happen,
To be fair, Sherman probably beefed with every team. So.
Right. And this Tampa Tom, a lot of people are starting to like him. So maybe things, maybe things changed. So going straight into the games, Amobi, what game impressed you the most this week?
The game that impressed me the most this past week?
Yeah, week 3.
I really like the Buffalo game.
They destroyed them.
Yeah, I did. I didn't. I kind of like wanting to see how they would bounce. From the week 1 loss to Pittsburgh. I think it lost.
Yeah, Pittsburgh.
So and because I just had I got a lot of high hopes for them going into, and then Emmanuel Sanders and all the changes they've had. So, and then I wanted to see how what's name develops, because he's one of the top 5 QBs in the league right now, in my opinion.
Yeah, Josh Allen. He picked up right where he left out. Yeah, where he left off last year. A great year.
I was really disappointed in the Monday night game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I expected Philly to. I just expected more. I expected more, man. It's just they. I don't know. I mean, it's still early, but I'm a Hurts fan, and I want to see him do good, and so I was just kind of I just didn't feel like I feel like the play calling was a little too I don't know
A little too
too
crazy for
soft.
him. Yeah, a little too soft. All right. All right.
We talk about Philly. We talk about Houston. No, I'm just
we'll get in that here in a second. Crenshaw, game impressed you the most.
I got to say the Chargers in the Kansas City. Justin Herbert, what he had, 4 touchdowns, 125.0 QBR. He's picked up from where he left off last year, rookie of the year. I thought it was all Pep Hamilton, but this guy really can ball. Miami really missed out on that pick. It was a great game. I'm hoping Kansas City finally coming down to earth because I thought it was going to like just run off with the AFC year after year after year. Go with that game right there.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and go most disappointing game since Amobi already said the Cowboys.
Yeah, that was the Monday night. That was my most disappointing. I expected more from Philly.
What about you, Crenshaw? What's your most disappointing?
Even though they won, I got to say the Ravens and the Lions is more disappointing.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you won off a fluke 66-yard field goal. I feel like you should have went in there and handled business. So I got to go with that one right there. That was a bad game.
Boy, that was a beautiful kick, though. You can't say it wasn't.
It was a beautiful kick.
Boy.
It was a beautiful kick, but Lamar played bad. Well, I mean, he played bad, but he played okay. He wasn't the Lamar Jackson we normally see. He didn't get them in the rushing yards, and QBR, I think it was at 80, I believe.
Yeah.
So I got to go with the Ravens, but they got the W. So at the end of the day, that's what matters.
Dylan, games are the most impressive.
most impressive. Man, I gotta go with the OT game, Raiders Dolphins. Man, that game had me hyped.
Yeah, that was a good game.
Derek
Carr's playing out his mind this year.
He is, man. I'm loving that dude right now. He's playing out of this world right now. I mean, and it doesn't hurt having, throwing the ball to Darren Waller, Henry Ruggs, fast as hell. Brian Edwards, I mean, he had a hell of a game, including a huge catch in OT. I mean, it's just Josh Jacobs is hurt, and they're still running like crazy. Peyton Barber, when's the last time you heard that damn name?
Right.
Over 100 yards? Like, that's crazy. I mean, that game was high. I didn't even care who won. It was a good game.
All right. Then, most disappointing.
I gotta go with our division game, man. Titans Colts. Titans Colts. It was boring. I don't know. I just watched it and I'm like, I want something to happen, But it was just, I don't know. It was just boring. I felt like neither team wanted to win that game. It was just. I think it tells you about the AFC South this year. I think this AFC South season isn't gonna be too hot for any of the four teams, to be honest. But it is what it is. Hopefully we turn it around. It's an early season. Wentz, he looked good for, having no ankles. I don't know what's going on with Jonathan Taylor so far this season. I mean, that line, offensive line isn't, their usual. And then, of course, A.J. Brown getting hurt, Julio on a pitch count or whatever. Henry had a couple big runs, but, I mean, Henry is – even then, Henry has been dependent on big runs to help his stats and stuff. I feel like he hasn't even been himself, really.
What is the – were there 2-1?
Yep.
2-1,
yeah.
Yeah, they lost the season opener. There was a big loss to
Cardinals. Yeah, they got embarrassed by the Cardinals.
They got embarrassed by the Cardinals. Who they played week 2?
They beat the Seahawks.
Yeah, they overtime game against Seattle.
Yeah, comeback.
Yes.
Even then, Seattle hasn't looked too hot. Yeah. They looked good against Indianapolis, which so did everybody else in Indianapolis.
Right. I gotta go most impressive. I gotta go with the Bengals team. Joe Burrow looking like he can be, a top.
When we were talking about what's his name, the Chargers quarterback,
Herbert,
Justin
Herbert.
Yeah, I was just thinking to myself, what if what's his name didn't get hurt out of last year, Does Herbert still
Burrow?
get Jabber? Because he was playing lights out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. He was.
Does he end up still getting a rookie?
I think Joe gets it because he was number one pick and he had more hype.
Yeah, Joe probably would have got it if he kept going, if he didn't get hurt. I could see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see that too.
Yeah,
But he just looked really good.
It started to like week 4 after or week 3 when what's they got hurt? Tyra Taylor, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Finley, I believe, was the quarterback. They kept rotating quarterbacks after Joe Burrow got hurt.
Oh, you're talking
No,
about,
I'm talking about
he's talking about the Chargers.
Oh, yeah. I think it was week 2 when
Yeah, it was something like that. Week 2. It was early on when the trainer punctured his lung.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, poor what's name can't catch
Bad
a break. How long is he out for?
At least three games.
They said that they think he's going to be back after his 3 games on the IR, because the IR this season's 3 weeks. But now my question is, I know he played great the first 2 weeks, but now you got this young kid. Say he plays well next week, and then the week after that, then what do you do? Be like, yeah, you played well, kid. Sit back down, or
Yeah. I don't want to make that decision.
no, I'm happy it ain't going for me either. I'll cheer for whoever.
Before we get more into that, speaking of the Texans, another breaking news: a sports writer from ESPN has wrote a tell-all about the Patriots and said that Bill O'Brien did all these moves to get fired because he thought Bill Belichick was going to retire or get fired and get his job. So, and he has a whole bunch of sources, and it seems to be legit. Who knows? But they have a lot of other stuff. Like, it seems like it could be a likable story.
It sounds like Bill O'Brien. Man doesn't think
Right.
stuff through.
Right.
But you try to get yourself fired and all that, then you do. And where are you now? Yeah, he's in Alabama, riding on Nick Saban's coattails. But I mean, come on, man. Really?
I don't know. I
don't know, man. Like I don't know what to believe, but I can see it. I can definitely see it. That man, I can see that man doing that.
That just makes me hate him more. I can't stand it, dude. I just.
What made him think that automatically the Patriots would have won him back? Actually, I don't know. They'll probably hire Josh McDaniels and give him the job before they give him the job.
Well, that was the thing, is he thought McDonald was getting a head coaching job. That's what the guy said in the book. They thought McDaniels was going to get a head coaching job somewhere
else, and then
O'Brien would either, if Belichick retired this season, they would hire O'Brien, or O'Brien would get the OC job, and then in the future would get the head coaching job. That's what he said in the book, at least.
He probably blackmailed or bribed Robert Kraft. Said, "Hey, look, I know all these masseuses down there in Houston to help you out. Like, give me give me this job."
No, that's why O'Brien didn't get fired. He didn't know any of Watson's masseuses to bring over to New England with him.
Oh man. And one more news story before we jump into the Texans, involving the Texans. The Tennessee Titans have decided to bring back the old Love You Blue, Houston Oilers tradition to Tennessee. A lot of Houston fans are up, in their feelings about it. Some of them are not. Crenshaw, you're down there in Houston. You're down there in the trenches. What's your feelings about it?
I mean, they took the history with them. To be honest, I don't really see a problem with them doing that, because at the end of the day, we didn't give them what they wanted. That's the reason why they left. So I'm not mad about it. Let them be them and we be us. We Texans. Let them be the Oilers, because that's what they are.
That's how I feel like. But Bud Adams, he did us dirty. Like, he straight up did us dirty. He did like a female would do, just cheat on us with our best friend and hook up with them. Like, why would you want that? Why would you want to remember that? Like, just move on.
Mm-hmm. Move on. I don't want to think about it.
Right. They were the Tennessee Oilers for I think 2 years. They got the names. Bud Adams didn't want to sell to us, so oh well, move on. We're the Texans.
Let them go. Let them do what they want.
Yeah.
All right. Amobi, being a former player, does that stuff matter to you guys at all, or?
I didn't know much of the history of the Oilers until I got drafted by the Texans, and then that's when I did my research, and then now I'm done playing. I don't think it bothers me that much. Like, just move on. Let's just keep with the Texan name and just go with that. Even though I do like the Oilers sound, like something about it. It's like, I don't know. When you think about Texan and Oilers, like, I don't know. But it's just I think I'd rather just move on and it's just push forward with the Texans, and whatever they want to do with the Oilers, do it.
Oh yeah.
I think we should play a game in our like a full game, not just the pregame, in our Letterman jackets. Let them have the blue jerseys. We'll take those Letterman jackets back. That was the worst thing that they could have did. Oh man, good times. Good times.
So let's jump in Thursday night game against Carolina Panthers. What can we say? We came up with the L. Amobi and Crenshaw predicted the L's. I was predicting a W. As my name says,
I feel like they came out flat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then with McCaffrey going down, you would think that that would. I mean, you don't hate for somebody to go down, but that would juice you up more to like want to finish them.
Yeah,
but that didn't.
Especially, I mean, the kid was playing well. Like, I just don't. You know what I mean? It's not like he was throwing picks. It's not like.
I think the change in the quarterback might have had something to do with it as well.
Oh well, it definitely did. They definitely didn't want to overwhelm Mills, especially when he came in the middle of the game. I mean, he's handing off to the left when the running back's on the right. Going off of week 2, I could see why they came in with like a smaller game plan, smaller playbook. But then once you get to second quarter, second half,
and it was a short week too. Now,
yeah.
Imagine when they had the actual week. I think that it was the cards weren't dealt to us too good, and to expect if they would have blew him out and something like that. That would have really shocked the heck out of me. But
the thing to me is the 2-minute warning or the 2-minute drill before halftime. Mills was slinging it. I mean, he was moving the ball perfectly.
He looked awesome,
yeah, and then scored that touchdown, missed the extra point, and then after second half, we just went back to the same.
Yeah,
let's be safe type ball. It's like, come on, man! Like let him throw it. He just proved to you that he can do it.
Man. See what the kid got.
Yeah,
it's not. This ain't doing good for no one.
Crenshaw, what was your takes on it?
Well, I feel like the offense looked like Bill O'Brien. I had to look over there to make sure there wasn't O'Brien on the sideline. But I mean, I get they're trying to protect him, like Amobi said, short week and everything. But what do you have to lose? You need to find out if this kid's a starter or is he a backup. So we need to find that out. So, like back to what you guys said earlier, I think even if Tyrod come back, I still think they should let Davis keep playing because we need all that experience. Like the Panthers last year, they played all those rookies. Now look at them this year. So we need to let him play more and more and more and more. Now, this week, they say they're going to open up the playbook. I hope so, because you're playing Buffalo. It's tough to win up there.
Yeah.
I mean, I want the guy to succeed because if he succeeds, that makes our drafting way, way better next year. And we need to build the team on a rookie quarterback deal. See, we failed that with Deshaun. So we need to be able to do this with Davis and make sure, keep it up.
Now I was moving to the defensive side of the ball. We had a couple of forced fumbles, no recoveries, no turnovers, but To me, they look pretty good. It's just they couldn't stay off the field. Davis wasn't helping them. The offense play call wasn't helping them. Justin Reed being out, to me, I think that was a big factor.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, that's your veteran leader out there, and you had old liability Ryan Gosselin, Aaron Murray out there just being a liability on the field, and to me, Lonnie Johnson looked lost here and there.
Yeah, he was looking lost. He didn't want to get beat deep. He was back 34 yards.
That's exactly what it was, man. Because last season he got beat deep a lot, so he was like, "Let me play 40 yards back. I ain't gonna get beat deep today." I think that's a weakness. That's their biggest need going into. I don't see them being buyers at the deadline, but going into the offseason stuff, they need safety help next to Reed. Maybe a veteran guy helped Lonnie out a little bit more. They need to get Murray out of there though.
Yeah.
A big thing that I liked was Lopez. Man, that dude was filling the gaps. I mean, he's a good nose tackle that just.
I love that kid. Man.
He's not making great plays, no headliners, but he's filling the gaps. He's opening the holes for the ends, the linebackers to be right there. He's helping the rush game out a lot, which was a good for I believe a 6th round pick.
Yeah, he's taking up blockers. He's nasty in the run game. I think up until this last week, he was the top rated run stopper. I mean,
he was
rookie, man. That's crazy.
Well, now Amobi playing in that defensive scheme, how important is it for the nose tackle to fill those gaps?
It's important. It's your line super important because I mean, Lovey likes to throw a couple blitzes in there, but a lot of the times it's. Oh, you said Amobi. Well, I'm going to answer anyway. I didn't realize what you said.
We'll let you do it.
It's Amobi's best friend. That's what we're going to call me. But no, I feel like it's super important because I feel like in the Tampa 2, a lot of times your front four, they're rushing by themselves and they're up there by themselves because you got guys dropping back in their zones. So I think that's big. And I was worried because I felt like our defensive line, except for a couple people, was super young, so I wasn't sure how they would be able to react without some, assistance and stuff like that. But all of them are impressing me. They were what I was worried about, and they look pretty good. Now let's get an expert's opinion because
No, we got some real athletic linebackers, so the 4-3 works real good because the linemen, you just tell them to just pin your ears back and go, and then like the linebackers will adjust through you. And I saw that quite a bit. They're still it's still not a full Lovie Smith type defense. The being that I played in it, I kind of know what he's asking for, especially the interior linemen. But I think as weeks come along or go along, they'll get better at it. It just to just go, and the linebackers will fall behind you, glide with you.
Oh, and plus, after Tyrod Taylor got hurt week 2, and then last week with them not letting Mills open the playbook, being on the field that affects the defense. I mean, terribly. So I mean, hopefully moving on. They're not on the field, 3/4 of the game like they have been. So
Amobi, how do y'all feel about that? If the offense not, pushing the ball, getting 3 and out, you constantly on the field. As a player, are you upset or it comes with the job?
It comes with the job. I mean, actually, as a player, you kind of want to have the more opportunities to go out there and show your stuff, get opportunity to go out there and actually, perform. But at the same time, you don't want to be out there a lot. Just have some kind of balance. So, but as a defensive player, the more opportunities you get, the better you can go out there and show your tool.
Right. Yeah. Right. So here's before we jump to the Bills game. Sam Darnold, is he for real, or is it just a fluke of the teams he's played?
A fluke.
I think he's good. I think his kid is good. I just think the Jet situation just wasn't good for him. You said Sam Arnold, right?
Yeah, Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I like him. I like his play. Watching him in USC, I thought it was going to be good. So,
you think a
yeah, I
fluke,
think-
Crenshaw, huh?
Yeah, I think it's a fluke. I mean, that's the Joe Brady effect. He had Bridgewater looking good. He had what's the other kid that came in for Bridgewater when he got hurt last year?
Josh Allen. Oh, not Josh Allen. Kyle Allen.
Yeah, he had him looking good. So I think they're just a Joe Brady effect. This week they play the Cowboys, so I'm really going to see is he going to come back down to earth. You know, no CMC, so we're going to see how the offense is going to flow now.
Dylan, what do you think?
I could see what you're saying about the Joe Brady effect. I was going to take it in a little bit of a different way. I wasn't going to say fluke, but I was going to say it was kind of a match made in heaven. I feel like he fits what Joe Brady wants extremely well. Joe Brady did have Bridgewater looking pretty good, but it was never on the level I felt like that Darnold's on now. I think he really fits what Brady wants, what Brady needs. And I like I said, I think it's more of a match made in heaven than a fluke. It's definitely an upgrade over Gase and the Jets and stuff like that. So we'll see how the rest of the season goes. It also helps that you have the number one defense, you know, on the other side too. I think that helps tremendously. So we'll see if that defense falls off a little bit. What happens, you know, then when you're on the field.
Yeah, an injury too on the defense is secondary. Somebody got hurt.
The rookie.
Horn.
Yeah, JC.
But they just traded for the guy from Jaguars, so they're right back in it.
Yeah. CJ Henderson.
Yeah, CJ Henderson. Yeah.
CJ.
Talking about good defenses, let's move on to Sunday's game. Going up to Buffalo against the 2-1 Buffalo Bills. We'll start off with you, Dylan. What do you expect?
I know you mentioned the defense. I want to talk about the offense a little bit. The biggest thing that I'm worried about, honestly, I don't know, just watching the game on Thursday, I felt like Sam Darnold did a little bit with his legs, moving a little bit. I think Allen's going to kill us with his legs. That's what I'm worried about, big time. They got some good receivers over there. I think Cole Beasley's might be in for a good game. I feel like Beasley's pretty good on finding especially Diggs and Beasley, finding like the open zones in between the zone coverages and stuff like that.
Emmanuel Sanders in the slot is deadly.
Yeah, it's their receivers, man. And, you know, the way the Texans defense has been, it's kind of been like bend, don't break. I feel like, you know, give them the little zone in front of you, just don't let them get past you type of thing. And I think the Bills will specialize on killing that with their receivers. Blake said my biggest thing I'm worried about is Allen's legs.
All right. So what's your predictions?
Man, I want to say it's going to be close, but I don't know. Maybe a 1-score game to a 2-score game, 10-point loss maybe.
Okay. All right. Amobi, what about you? What do you say? What are you worried about? What do you think we're gonna do?
I mean, that's a hostile crowd to play. That Bills Mafia and everything. That's going to be a factor, especially if we got the rookie. If he is going to be playing, the rookie quarterback playing. So I want us to win. Are we going to win?
Yeah, no, I feel you.
Yeah, it's just if it happens, kudos would be great. But just from the way the Bills played last week, they're trending upwards, and then you're going there again. The atmosphere, I think that the wind is a pretty big factor. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to pull off, but I wish we do.
Okay. What do you think the score is gonna be?
28 to like 21.
Oh,
I was thinking 27-20. So
All right, Crenshaw,
Not too far off.
lay it down, brother. What you got?
All right. Well, it's like Buffalo. The two games they won, they played against backup quarterbacks. So I can't say that they're for real on offense because I mean, I don't know. It's hard for me to say they're for real because they're playing against backup quarterbacks. I'm meant to say the defense. So the defense playing lights out right now. But Josh Allen is a baller. I don't believe in the run game, but I still feel like they're going to kill us. Like Moby said, it's hard to play up there in Buffalo, Bills Mafia. They're jumping off on tables. They're going to be rowdy, crazy out there. But I got a 30-17 Buffalo. I feel like Mill's going to play better, but Josh Allen's going to be too much. Like you said, Emmanuel Sanders, Beasley, Diggs. Who's going to cover them? I mean,
Yeah.
is Mitchell's back from the concussion? I mean,
Yeah,
who's going to cover these
supposed
guys?
to be at least. But still,
They're going to eat. They're going to eat. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not worried about the run game. It's more about the pass. And we shown last week, you just stand in the middle, you're going to catch the ball. No one's around the receiver.
yep.
So yeah, I'm looking at us 1-3 coming back to Houston to play New England.
To me, I think they let the rookie throw the ball. They let him sling it, and I think he throws an interception, and they start to worry, and that's when they start dumbing down the playbook like they did Thursday, and that's when Buffalo just runs all over us. And I think it's going to be a 31-10 game. I think it's going to be a blowout. I hate to say it.
I was just about to say too. I feel like the point spread right now is 16 points. I thought that was mad disrespectful. And then you go out and throw something like that.
I hate. They were a top team in the AFC last year. They went to the AFC Championship. They improved on both sides of the ball. It's just hard. It's hard to pick.
Honestly, the Bills, they probably don't looking at this as they're looking at this as a stat game to them.
Yeah. And hopefully that plays to our advantage. Hopefully, we come out and they're already looking for next week and we surprise them. Hopefully, but
that would be good. Catch them slipping.
Well, before we head out, Amobi, you mind if we ask you a question about your career?
Sure, it's fine.
I'll start off. I was at the game against the Titans. Andre Johnson, Cortland Finnegan, just throwing blows. As a player, bro, how was it? Like, what was your reaction, and how was
that was a build up. That was a build up, and then eventually it just ruptured. Like it had been. Cortland has been hit. He just, when he's your teammate, you want him on your team. When you were playing against him, yeah, you don't.
I hear that everywhere. Like we had on our other podcast, we had Michael Griffin on, and he said, like he's a rider. Like if you're on the same team, he's down for you.
Oh yeah.
If he's on the opposing team, he'll do whatever he can.
Hate him.
Yeah.
And like I said, that was a build up, and eventually, Andre just got to the point where he had enough was enough for him, and you had to put him in his place. And
now they said that's like completely opposite of his behavior. Like he's a down to earth guy. Andre, yeah.
Oh yeah. That shocked the heck out of everybody. But like I said, you could tell it had been building up, and it got to the point where he hit Andre's threshold, and Andre's threshold is different than everybody else's. It takes a lot for him to get to that threshold where he's like, where enough is enough. But he got to it, and he had to let him have it.
Yeah, it was great to see. I mean, it sucked that he got kicked out. I mean, we won the game, but it was awesome.
That was awesome to see.
Portland, that's just the way he plays, and he gets under the skin of a lot of receivers and other players. So when Andre did that, it's like Andre did it for everybody.
Yeah. I heard him being called a Charles Barkley of the NFL. So
he's he's Draymond Green.
There you go.
Draymond Green. Yeah. Well, I got a question for you. I got a question for you, Amobi. Why did you choose Louisville over Harvard?
So in high school in Alabama, where I went when I first moved from Nigeria, we went to a full contact camp in Louisville, because Louisville is only, or from there they said Louisville, it's only 3.5 hours away from Huntsville, Alabama, where I went to high school. And so I just got acclimated to going there every summer for the full contact camp. And, every kid, I know back then when I was coming out, everything was all about going out of state. Like most kids, even still now, they want to go, when they go to college, they want to go out of state because they feel like, they're going away from the family, the whole being themselves and yada, yada, yada. So for me, even though it was out of state, it was only 3.5 hours away. And we had went there three years in a row for camp. So they still have a good medical program, and I wanted to do medicine if football didn't work out. So there were all the check marks for me, and I was just like, I took all my official visits, and when I took my visits to Louisville, I was like, yeah, this is where I'm gonna be.
Dylan, you got a question for Mr. Okoye?
And the Petrino, even though he was telling everybody else he wasn't gonna play me until I was able to shave. we had conversations that I was gonna play with if I come in there and do my thing.
Is there, looking back on your career, is there a play or two that like you'll always remember?
Yes. Tennessee. When I was playing Tennessee, I want to say it was my rookie or sophomore year. One now. The center, Hall of Famer, Jesus Christ, Maui.
Oh yeah.
Maui, something, yeah. He's I don't think he's been inducted yet, but he's definitely gonna go eventually. I just remember doing a spin move, turning into him, and he smacked the out of me.
I'm thinking it's gonna be like a forced fumble or something.
That was the first. I mean, there's so many of them, but that was the first that just came up to my mind. I remember that, but that was like, yeah, for sure. I remember also just OTAs when I first, the first OTAs and the first mini camp, and when Justin Fields said early in the preseason when he said the game felt slow to him, then the next week he got smacked. I don't know if y'all remember this past.
Got sacked 9 times.
9 times.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about in the preseason.
Oh, yeah.
He had said that the game seemed slow to him.
Oh, the game was slow to him. Yeah, he did say that. Yeah.
Then the next week he got smacked. Like
where his helmet popped off? Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I bet it was slow then. that was the first thing I recognized when I came to the league. The speed is different than the pros. I mean, than college. Every level, from high school to college to the pros, and yeah, that was like, yeah, I remember that.
I got another question for you. Are you related to Christian Okoye?
No, got the same last name. Our last name is kind of like Howard, or like it's like a name that's popular but not popular.
Okay.
Yeah. So back in Nigeria, in the village, where my dad said we're actually like neighbors. Our families are neighbors in the village, so we share the same last name. Crazy thing, I just spoke to him like 2-3 weeks ago, actually.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
He was one of my favorite running backs growing up.
Everybody remembers him from Tecmo Bowl.
Yeah, he was a beast, man. Was that a player that you coming from Nigeria? Is that somebody that you idolized and followed?
Yeah. I didn't know anything about him until when I was in Nigeria and getting ready to come here. And I felt like I needed to change my name so people could like understand and say it better, easier. And my dad was like, "Trust me, just be good at something." Just like there's a guy out here. His last name is Okoye as well, and he's very known. And just be good at, if you get anything, everybody know how to say your name. And that's how I remembered knowing about him.
Okay.
Yeah, and then when I got here, obviously I did my research, and when I was getting ready to get drafted, I reached out to him and for some advice, and I have his number every time I can just call him, and he's a good dude.
Awesome. Does he still watch football and stuff, or?
Oh yeah. He's out in Cali. He's just doing his thing.
Because I know like Aaron Foster, he completely removed himself from NFL. Like he is all about the rap game. He don't want nothing to do with it.
I just saw him a couple of weeks ago too.
Yeah. There you go.
Bobby Frino.
Bobby Frino. Yep.
Hey, he's pretty good, man. I ain't gonna lie. I bumped some of the stuff. So he's pretty good.
Yeah, he's good. I used to mess with the funny story about Aaron. His rookie year, I used to mess with him as he was came in 09?
09,
2 years after me. Yeah.
Well, at the end of the year of 08, I believe, and then the beginning of 09.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so part of our rookie hazing and stuff, when I have him sing, I always tell him that he looked like Drake, but and he sounded like Drake, and he didn't like that at all because obviously he's a right, that's his like his alter ego, whatever. So I never didn't think about it then until like when he started doing the rapping, and I was like, that's why he's so cool.
Yep.
That's awesome. Well, Kristen, I got my quiz mixed up, man. My apologies. Well,
it's all good, bro. I've got it before.
Amobi, we, as you know, we threw a contest this week. So pick a number through 1 through 74, and that winner will get a piece autographed by you. So what's your number? 52. All right, lucky 52. We'll announce the winner on Twitter and all. I bet you they're pumped. I mean, it was a big contest. We had a big turnout, so we appreciate you for your help.
No doubt. Glad to have me on, man. I'll hopefully get back on next Wednesday again, man.
Oh yeah. But before we go, we just want to say thank you to the Pigskin Podcast Network, our new network. We are sponsored by DraftKings, and they are giving new customers a free shot at millions of dollars in total prizes with their first deposit.
I just started playing DraftKings as of 2 days ago.
Oh man, you're a little too short. You should enter this code. So if you download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use the code TPPN, you receive $150 in free bets when you place $1 bet in any football game. The promo code is TPPN at DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the NFL. Amobi, I know your Twitter got hacked, but tell us about your charity. That way we can find it and support it.
No doubt, it's the Amobi Okoye Foundation, and the Facebook and the Instagram page is still for those are still good, so you can always hit me up on that.
Awesome. Dylan, where can we find you at on all platforms?
I'm on Twitter. It's my last name and my first name, Cieslik, Cieslik, Dylan, Dylan.
Awesome. All right. Crenshaw, where we get you?
I'm at 5th Ward Crenshaw everywhere on all platforms.
All platforms. And still this week, I'm keeping the name Sadden Texans fan on Twitter.
Come on, man. Change that.
I can't. I'm sad.
Gotta keep rolling with it. Gotta keep rolling with it.
I can't change it, until we start winning. So you can find us on Facebook, Texans Fan Battle Podcast. You can find us on YouTube, Twitter, all the same thing, Texans Fan Battle Podcast. So until hopefully next week we talk about W. Some think we are, some think we won't, but we'll see. Until then, everybody, y'all have a good night and see y'all next week.
Come on, Texans. Surprise us.
All right.
Yes, sir. Roll them horns.